Okay, in this video, I want to show you how to enable and use GarageBand's multitrack recording capabilities. Now, just to be clear, when you use the word multitrack, to some people, that just means having an audio editing program that is capable of having individual multiple tracks. But in this case, I'm specifically referring to simultaneous multitrack recording, meaning the ability to record more than one input at the same time. This is what allows you to record two or more musicians onto their own tracks, or to record a drum kit that you've mic'd with several mics. Now, as I mentioned in the first movie of this chapter, in order to do this, you'll need to have an audio input device that allows for more than one input into the device at the same time. I also gave you a couple of examples of devices in that movie, so if necessary, you can go back and review. In this case, I still have the Apogee Quartet connected to my Mac, and it allows for 4 inputs. Now, in order to record multiple tracks at once in GarageBand, we need to change some of its default settings. Now, as we've seen, to record onto a track, you simply select the track so it's highlighted. That tells GarageBand that's the track you want to record to, but I can't select more than one track that way. Instead, I'm going to come up to the track menu, and from here I'll choose Track Header, Show Record Enable button. Alternately, you can right-click on any of these track headers to get the track header menu, and choose Show Record Enable from here. In any case, that places this button with a red dot on each track. This used to be one of the default controls in previous versions of GarageBand, but I guess someone decided that just clicking tracks was enough to enable single-track recording. Notice as I click tracks to select them, the Record Enable button turns on as well. But to enable simultaneous multitrack recording, I need to click the Record Enable button on each track I want to record onto. In this case, I'll be recording these 2 guitar tracks and this bass track. And by the way, joining me for this movie are 2 of my bandmates, Larry and Bryce, both on guitar, and I'll be playing the bass. Now, I've already set up our 3 tracks to their own inputs on the quartet, but again, that's done by selecting the track, opening up the Smart Controls, making sure the Info button is selected, and here you can choose the input for each of your instruments. So in this case, the first guitar is on input 1, second guitar is on input 2, and the bass is on input 3. So at this point, the 3 tracks are record enabled, I've got the playhead at the beginning of the song, and we're ready to record. And for this one, I've actually set up some drum tracks too, so we'll hear some actual drum parts being played, so we can play along with them. Here we go. All right, I think that was far enough to get the idea. So that's simultaneous multi-track recording in GarageBand, which I think has multiple advantages over single-track recording. First of all, you're able to capture the sound of musicians playing together, which can allow for them to play off and react to each other in a live fashion that you can't really get when you record one track at a time. It can also be a big time saver. In one pass here, we got 3 tracks done. But of course, there can be drawbacks too. If the musicians don't completely know their parts, or if someone messes up, you might have to start over each time until all the musicians get it right. Now in this case, since we're not using real amps, but are plugged directly into GarageBand's virtual amps, we don't need to worry about things like one guitar's sound bleeding into the other. So if one of us messes up, we can go back and fix just that track if the other tracks are okay. So you'll have to think ahead to figure out whether it's best to use multi-track recording and when to record one track at a time. But at least you now know how to enable multi-track recording in GarageBand, so you'll be able to take advantage of that ability when you need it.